Hey guys, today's story is unusual. It's about a kid that won't stay in school. Let's get into it. My son's school called to ask why he hasn't been in class for 3 weeks. I drop him off every morning. What I found out is so much worse than playing hooky. My son is 14. He's a freshman in high school. His name's Ethan. He's a good kid. He's quiet. He gets decent grades. A normal teenager. I'm a single dad. His mom and I split when he was 8. We share custody, but he's with me during the school week. Every morning for 3 years, I've driven him to school. It's the same routine. We leave at 7:15, drop him off at the front entrance at 7:30, and I watch him walk in. 3 days ago, the school called. Attendance office. The woman said Ethan had missed 15 days this month. Was he sick? I laughed. I said, no, I drop him off every day. There must be some kind of mistake. She went quiet. Then said, according to the records, he hasn't attended a single class since October 4th. That's 3 weeks. I said that was impossible. I literally watch him go inside. She said the teachers have been marking him absent. They send emails. I checked my email after hanging up. There was nothing. Then my spam folder. 12 emails from the school, all filtered into spam. Ethan set up my email 2 years ago. He knows my password. I left work immediately. I got to the school at 1 p.m. I went to the office and asked them to pull Ethan out of his class. The secretary checked and said he wasn't marked present. I said I dropped him off at 7:30. I watched him walk in. She offered to check the security cam footage. We went to the security office. The guard pulled up this morning's entrance cameras. I watched my car pull up, watched Ethan get out, watched him walk back towards the doors. Then I watched him stop 5 feet from the entrance, glance back at the street, and turn around. He walked along the side of the building and disappeared off the camera. The guard checked previous days. It was the same pattern. Every single morning. I asked where he goes. The security guard said cameras only cover school property. I drove around for an hour looking for him. I called his phone 15 times. Texted. No answer. Finally, I went home to wait. He walked in at 3:15, the normal time. Backpack, normal expression. I was sitting at the kitchen table. Our eyes met, and we both knew. Where have you been? He stood at the doorway for a long time. Finally, around. I told him I saw the footage. I need to know where he's been going for 3 weeks. He said he walks around, goes to the park, the library, just kills time until he can come home. I asked him why. There was a long pause. And then, I just hate it there. Nobody talks to me. I eat lunch in bathroom stalls. I'm invisible. It's better to be alone somewhere where nobody's supposed to see me anyway. My heart broke. We talked for 2 hours. He told me things he's never said before. About having no friends, about feeling like he's watching life through a glass. I took the rest of the week off, started walking him into the school, physically watching him go to class. He hates this, but he's going. I got him a therapist appointment for Monday, but here's the thing I haven't told anyone. Yesterday I was doing laundry and found $340 cash in his jeans pocket. $20 bills. 17 of them. I asked him about it at dinner. I tried to be casual. Hey, bud, where'd you get this money from? He went white. He said he'd been saving his allowance. I give him $20 a week. This is 17 weeks of allowance, and it's in perfect $20 bills. Not crumpled, like someone just gave them to him. I asked if he was sure. He nodded and said, "Can I have it back?" I gave it back. I didn't push, but I didn't sleep that night. This morning, I dropped him off as usual. Watched him go into the building. He actually went inside this time because I parked and walked up to make sure. But then I did something I'm not proud of. I waited across the street in a coffee shop parking lot. At 9:30, during second period, I saw Ethan come out of the side door. He looked around, then walked quickly towards the back of the school. I followed him on foot. He walked 4 blocks to a small park I'd never noticed before. It's just a little neighborhood park, nothing special. Playground, some benches, a picnic pavilion. There were 5 other kids there, all around his age, maybe 13 to 16, 3 boys and 2 girls. None in school uniforms, just sitting around. I hid behind a tree like a creep and watched. They weren't doing drugs, I looked for that first. No smoking, no passing anything around. They were just sitting, talking. One kid had a skateboard, another kid was reading a book. Ethan sat down with them like he belonged there, like this was his routine. They just sat there for an hour, just talking. Sometimes quiet, sometimes laughing. Normal kid stuff. And then a man showed up. Maybe 40s, jeans and a hoodie. He wore glasses. He was carrying a grocery bag. The kids all stood up when they saw him. They weren't scared. They were excited. He sat down at one of the picnic tables and started pulling things out of the bag. There were sandwiches, chips, and drinks. Kids gathered around and he handed them out. They all sat eating and talking with this man for maybe 30 minutes. He seemed to be asking them questions. They were answering, some laughing, some serious. Then he pulled out envelopes, 5 of them, handed one to each kid. I watched Ethan open his. He took out cash. He counted it and put it in his pocket. The man said something I couldn't hear, and the kids nodded. They talked a bit more, and then the man left. The kids stayed for maybe another hour before splitting up in different directions. I followed Ethan. He went to the library, sat there until 2:45, then walked home, arriving at exactly 3:15 like always. I didn't confront him. I didn't know what to confront him about. Who is that man? Why is he giving kids money? What does he want from them? I went back to the park today during school hours. It was empty. I waited 3 hours and nobody came. I looked up man giving money to kids in a park and got nothing but traffic warnings and worst-case scenarios. But it didn't look sinister. It looked almost wholesome. They were laughing. They were eating sandwiches and nobody seemed scared. But why would a grown man meet with truant kids in a park to give them cash? Tonight at dinner, I tried again. I asked Ethan if he'd made any new friends lately. He said no. I asked if anyone had been giving him anything. Money, gifts, anything. He looked at me with those wide eyes and said, no. Why would someone give him those things? He's lying to my face, and I don't know why. I checked his room after he went to bed. I found more cash hidden in his desk drawer, at least $600. Maybe more. It was all in 20s. I found a burner phone in his backpack, a cheap flip phone. Only 2 numbers in the call log, both listed as unknown. And I found a notebook, the kind kids use for school. But this wasn't for schoolwork. It was full of writing, different handwriting, like multiple people had written in it. Short entries. Day 23, still invisible. Nobody asked where I was. They think I was sick. I wasn't. I just couldn't breathe in there anymore. Mom cried today. I almost went back. Almost. He said we're not running away. We're running towards something. I think I believe him. The group is the only place where I exist. There were pages and pages, different handwriting, different kids, all talking about being invisible, all leaving school, about some group, about him. The last entry was in Ethan's handwriting, and it was dated yesterday, day 19. Dad walked me inside today. Had to actually go to first period. I felt like drowning. Second period, I left through science wing exit. Nobody noticed. They never do. I met at the park. He brought good sandwiches today. Asked me if I was sure. I said yes. Next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is in 4 days. I don't know what happens next Wednesday. I don't know who this man is or what he wants with these kids. I don't know if I should call the police, but what do I say? A man is giving my son sandwiches and money? Because that's the thing that's killing me. In the last 3 weeks, Ethan has seemed lighter. He's less withdrawn. He smiles sometimes now. He never used to smile. What if I call the police and I'm saving him from something terrible? But what if I call the police and I'm taking him away from the only thing that's made him feel visible? I'm going to that park next Wednesday, and I'm going to see what happens. But I'm terrified of what I'm going to find. Edit. People asking why I don't just ask him directly, because if this is something bad and I tip him off, he'll warn the others. If this is something good that I don't understand, I'll ruin the only positive thing in his life. I need to see for myself first. Edit 2. Someone suggested it might be a support group for at-risk kids, but why would a support group pay kids to attend? Why the secret phone? Why meet in a random park during school hours? Edit 3. I called the library to ask if they have any programs for teens during weekday mornings. They said no. All youth programs are after school or on the weekends. So Ethan's just been sitting out there alone for hours between the park meetings and coming home. Edit 4. I'm looking at that notebook again. One entry says, he said society failed us, but we won't fail each other. Another says, 3 more weeks until we're ready. Ready for what? And that's all we know. I really got what the kid was saying there when he said he was looking through glass. I know that's how I felt in high school, like I was on the other side of the glass, looking in. What was your experience like? Comment below. Bye for now.